From a small-town girl struggling to afford college, to one of the most powerful voices in American politics, Elizabeth Warren's journey is a story of resilience, intellect, and fearless determination. She challenged Wall Street, fought for ordinary families, and reshaped the conversation around economic justice. But behind the headlines lies a life filled with struggle, transformation, and relentless purpose. Stay with us, because this is the untold story of Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth N. Warren, born June 22, 1949, in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, emerged from modest beginnings to become one of the most influential and intellectually formidable figures in modern American politics. A journey defined not by privilege or inherited power, but by resilience, academic brilliance, and a lifelong commitment to economic justice. And her story begins in a middle-class family that would soon face financial hardship after her father suffered a heart attack, forcing her mother to take a low-wage job to keep the family afloat. An experience that would profoundly shape Warren's worldview and her understanding of how fragile financial stability can be for ordinary families, instilling in her a deep empathy for those living on the edge of economic insecurity. As a young girl, Warren excelled academically and demonstrated a natural gift for debate, winning a state championship in high school, which helped her secure a scholarship to George Washington University at the age of 16, though her educational path was far from linear, as she left college to marry young and later resumed her studies, eventually earning a law degree from Rutgers Law School. A journey that reflected both the societal expectations placed on women during that era and her determination to carve out her own identity in a male-dominated field. Her early career was shaped by teaching and research, as she became a professor specializing in bankruptcy law, teaching at institutions including the University of Houston, the University of Texas, the University of Pennsylvania, and ultimately Harvard Law School, where she gained national recognition for her groundbreaking research on why middle-class families go bankrupt, challenging prevailing narratives that blamed individuals for financial failure, and instead highlighting systemic issues such as medical expenses, job loss, and predatory lending practices. And it was through this research that Warren began to emerge not just as an academic but as a public intellectual and advocate, using data and storytelling to bring attention to the structural inequalities embedded within the American economic system. Her work caught the attention of policymakers, and she played a key advisory role during the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis, one of the most devastating economic events since the Great Depression, where millions of Americans lost their homes, jobs, and savings, and Warren became a leading voice calling for accountability on Wall Street, arguing that the financial system had been rigged in favor of powerful institutions at the expense of ordinary people. And her advocacy led to the creation of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, an agency designed to protect consumers from abusive financial practices, a landmark achievement that solidified her reputation as a champion for economic fairness, despite facing significant opposition from powerful financial interests and political figures. Warren's determination never wavered, and in 2012 she made the bold decision to run for the United States Senate from Massachusetts, challenging an incumbent and overcoming significant obstacles to win the seat, becoming one of the most prominent progressive voices in Congress, where she continued to push for policies aimed at reducing economic inequality, regulating big banks, and expanding access to education and healthcare. And her ability to communicate complex economic issues in relatable terms made her a powerful figure not just within political circles but among the general public, earning her a dedicated following. Over the years, Warren became known for her detailed policy proposals and her willingness to confront powerful interests head-on, often using sharp questioning in Senate hearings to hold executives and officials accountable, a style that resonated with many Americans who felt their voices were not being heard, and her influence extended beyond legislation, as she played a key role in shaping the Democratic Party's platform and the broader national conversation around issues such as student debt, wealth inequality, and corporate accountability. In 2020, Warren launched a campaign for the presidency of the United States, entering a crowded field of candidates with a message centered on structural change, emphasizing that the system itself needed to be reformed to create a fairer society. And while her campaign ultimately did not secure the nomination, it left a lasting impact, introducing ambitious policy ideas and energizing a new generation of politically engaged citizens. Throughout her career, Warren has faced criticism and controversy, as is often the case for public figures who challenge entrenched systems. But she has remained steadfast in her commitment to her core principles, consistently advocating for policies that aim to level the playing field and provide opportunities for those who have been historically marginalized. And beyond her political work, Warren is also an accomplished author, having written numerous books that explore economic policy, personal finance, and her own life story, further cementing her role as both a thought leader and a storyteller. Her journey from a struggling family in Oklahoma to the halls of power in Washington, D.C., is a testament to the transformative power of education, perseverance, and a clear sense of purpose, and it reflects a broader narrative about the possibilities within American society, even as it highlights the systemic challenges that persist. And as she continues to serve in the Senate, Warren remains a central figure in debates about the future of the economy, the role of government, and the pursuit of fairness and opportunity for all, embodying a blend of intellectual rigor, moral conviction, and political courage that has defined her career and secured her place as one of the most significant voices of her time, a figure whose impact extends far beyond legislation into the very fabric of how Americans understand economic justice, opportunity, and the responsibilities of leadership in a complex and ever-changing world.